Welcome back, my darling critters. I had said last week's episode was a turning point where the party's goals changed from being bounty hunters, tracking down Armand Treshy, to focusing more on the mystery of the Rudius Moon and its threat to all of Exandria. This week was a follow-up on that promise with more lore and information, but first we got some unexpected combat, which I was not mad about. Who am I? I am the BookTube goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. My expectation going into episode 30 of Bell's Hells was the party arriving at Birdie and Ollie's camp to find out about this mysterious machine. But of course, Matt loves subverting expectations. I did not see a major combat scene going down even after the first exchange started. We did get a foreshadow when Aurum noticed a flare going up in the sky as they left Basuris and began traveling over the bridge. But it is obvious now that that was a signal to the bandits that, hey, a mark is coming over the bridge. Now, when I hear bandits in D&D, I think of the most lame type of wandering monster encounter. A couple of guys jumping out from behind trees attempting to rob the party. But these bandits have an enormous 20-foot tall crawler with a mounted machine gun. Now this is interesting because back during the Vox Machina campaign, technology was pretty standard D&D fare except for Percy's gun, which was an outlier and to me felt a little bit anachronistic. Now the campaign has evolved into full steampunk or maybe even diesel punk territory. If you don't know what diesel punk is, pick up Perdido Street Station by China Myville. The bandits try to shake Bell's Hells down, and it seems like Bell's Hells is open to talking their way out of it, maybe even paying the bandits a nominal little fee just to let them pass. But the bandits insist they give up everything, including FCG. Imogen pretends to comply, dropping a backpack in front of the bandits' crawler, but surprise! It is actually a bomb that she immediately detonates. Even after all this, I did not imagine how much danger the party actually was in until things began to escalate. Am I the only one? Instead of running away, Bell's Hells charges the bandits. Of course they do. It ends up being a pretty good combat scenario that I wasn't expecting. Did you think this was going to evolve into a big combat scene? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're there, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. The stakes go up pretty quickly after some members of the party go down, mostly from acid damage. In the end, the bandits run away, and the crawler they use goes crashing over the mesa. Now, this bandit encounter took up the first half of the episode. After that, we finally get to Birdie and Ollie's camp, and Fearne gets to be reunited with her father. Of course, Ira, the Nightmare King, is there as well, working on the machine that is supposed to give more information on the Rudius Moon, and it's basically a big giant telescope. The funniest moment came not during the storytelling, but by some member of the crew trying to secretly give Ashley a drink and scaring the pants off her when Matt was talking about the Nightmare King.
down to get to where you're standing and pulls you to the front of this odd device. It looks...
She's in it.
Oh, shit. Oh my god!
Oh no, that might have been the best.
The choice of mug makes it even better.
7 years.
I just felt some like scratching, and I was like, "There's a creature!"
But it was a cup. It's Ira. It's Ira. It's Ira.
Thank you.
Alex Ward. Alex Ward.
Fucking amazing. I don't know what I thought was gonna kill me in this moment
Did you
right
request that cup?
now. No, I think they saw that I removed
Oh, I
a
see.
can
That
off
was
of
very
these
hot.
greens. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
just thinking
That was
of me. That was very
fantastic.
nice.
The final piece for the machine is a lens, or crystal that Fearne has been given by her grandmother to give to her parents. Now we get another huge revelation. Fearne's grandmother, Morri, who is not her biological grandmother that we found out last week, but she is also a fae who is some sort of hag or crone, and it becomes apparent that she is the Morrigan, who, if you know from Celtic mythology, is one of the most powerful of the fae. Actually, she's a god, but I think in this context, she's one of the major fae players who, of course, can protect Fearne from the Seelie and Unseelie courts because she is so powerful, and she was probably the one who dilated time so she could have 90 years with Fearne. At least that's what Ira seems to suggest. But furthermore, she is a collector and gives nothing for free. Fearne wants to know if she was the price for the lens. Fearne's parents say, of course not, but then look at Ira.
I have a question. So, in order for Morri to do favors, you have to give her something.
Right?
Was I something that you gave for a favor?
Well, no, we did. And he looks over his shoulder up towards Ira, who's in the process of installing the weave lens. You can see him kind of clutching the green circle of glass off to one side as he's like pulling aside bits and beginning to install it. And you see Ollie's face just go pale. Looks over at Birdie, and she like sits down in a chair.
Oh. This adds a bit of a wrinkle to the story.
Now that's a revelation. Finally, we get to see what the machine does, which shows the Rudius moon is a prison. Imogen thinks it's a prison of a god anyway, because there's these magic bars around it, and from the lore that we learned last week, Orem helps her see closer.
While the nature of this lattice-like field that contains the red moon evades you, your eyes catch a glint in the middle of the red storm. As like the device is scanning past the front of it. And it's moving away from it. Do you say anything?
I see a glint. Oh, sure. I will reach out and grab Imogen's hand, which is right above me. And I yank her over and duck my head down.
Okay.
Oh.
Is Iris still like turning the device and it's kind of like scanning past it?
Stop.
It clicks in a few more places and it gets in a little bit closer and pushes, and you can see it straining. There's like the energies of all the orbs around it. You could see, for those of you who aren't in the device, they're now bright. And there is a vibrant hum in the chamber as it is drawing all the energy from these various orbs that have been collected and embedded within this machine. It's taking a lot of power to do what it's doing.
Orm also takes his hand with a sentinel shield on it, and I reach down and interlace hands with Imogen and clasp to try to send the vibration of that shield into her.
Now, you've seen a few storms in your time. Red clouds swirling angrily, aggressively, hungrily in your dreams, moving and consuming. Behind them, nothing but dust and shadow. And as this device pushes past the layer of lattice, cage-like energy, pushing beyond the boundaries of your vision, the storm, clearer than it's ever been, you see it part for but a moment. And there's a city. And that's where we're in tonight's episode.
You can't do that! You can't do that! What do you mean? What?
There's a hidden city on the moon. And that's where the episode ends. Now, it felt to me like the episode ended abruptly, but that could be because I wanted to find out more. What is this city? Could the imprisoned god have created a new race? Or maybe even splintered himself into a new race? And what's the connection to the Rudius born on Exandria? Could the denizens of this Rudius city be transporting or projecting themselves into newborns on Exandria? Are the Rudius born actually an invasion from the Rudius moon? Is that who Odahan Thal is? One of the leaders of an invasion fleet? Now, both Imogen and Fearne are Rudius born, so what does that mean for their future? Now, I think we can pretty much guess that we're going to get a Spelljammer type voyage to the moon, because there's been a lot of Spelljammer advertisements, and I would be surprised if there's not going to be a little spaceship adventure, shall we say, but I don't know. There's so much we can speculate on. Let me know in the comments what you think it all means. Until then, we'll have to wait until next week to find out more. Until we meet again, may all the campaigns you play be blessed.